So we launched our first outlet in JP Nagar while we were still at Mesa. And in the last 3 months, we have sold more than 10,000 orders now.
$15,000 and
10,000 orders.
3,000 vada pavs.
Cool. Hi, I'm Tanay
And I'm Jash.
and together we're building Mumbai Pav Company.
So for the last 2 years before I joined Mesa, I was actually working in kitchens, but a lot of my friends were doing their MBAs. Through them, I was hearing a lot about what was happening in startups in India and the startup ecosystem, and it really got me curious. And at exactly the time when I was looking to make a switch from the kitchen, I saw an ad of Mesa and I felt it hit the right spot.
So Mesa actually happened at a time when I was actually not looking to join a full-time MBA program. I'd seen an Instagram ad and then I visited the website, and then it was just interesting on how this program was being built. It was meant for entrepreneurship. It was meant to deal with startups on a day-to-day basis. So I think Mesa came to me at the right time when I was actually looking to switch jobs and probably either move towards full-time entrepreneurship or a higher impact role in a different job. And since then, I think it was one of the best decisions I made because I learned a lot here. I networked a lot. I met a lot of startup founders, leaders, CXOs, and I think it was a program designed for entrepreneurs to not just build in the current space, but also build among the current trends in the market as well.
So one thing that I was most excited about when I came to Mesa was how they would enable entrepreneurship. And when I heard about MSL, I was really excited. And people are talking a lot about MSL is like an incubator program. But now, having gone through that journey, I feel MSL is in a way a direction to approach the solution to a problem. To put it in a simple way, for me, it broke down my journey into various parts. As I crossed these 3-4 milestones, and I looked back and I realized we had come a long way from where we started, and we had the store set up.
I actually joined Mesa Startup Lab with 4 to 5 ideas in my mind. I tested each one of them out by talking to a lot of mentors, VCs, founders building in that space. And one thing, what really helped me was early feedback. And I did not chase the wrong idea or a wrong conviction or with a wrong perspective in mind. Second, it did not feel like a lonely journey because I was alongside peers who were building with the same mindset. So the entire startup mindset which was built through this program really helped me along the way. There were stages in the MSL program, and each stage was curated to a different problem you were really going to face while ideating for your venture. Right from deciding the space you want to build in, the industry you want to build in, the kind of MVP you should start pushing out, to actually launching and testing out your MVP in real markets and generating some form of traction and revenue.
Even before we joined hands for Mumbai Pav Company, I had been focused that I wanted to do something in F&B. So one moment that was a great highlight for me was when we had a hackathon where we were given 36 hours straight to solve a problem, and I was assigned this company called Yoga Bar, which is again in F&B and health. And the biggest highlight for me was within those 36 hours, I pinged someone who worked at Yoga Bar on LinkedIn, and I got a meeting with them within that 24 hours. And it turned out that the office is just next to the Mesa campus. I got a chance to go there and spend around 1.5 hours with their senior marketing person, just debating about their view on the problem statement that we were solving for. And that was really exciting to me. And the next day itself, the founder of Yoga Bar, Suhasini, came down to the campus and heard out our solutions. Just to be able to pitch to them and hear their feedback was a really exciting thing, and really exciting thing for us at campus.
So once we were clear that we were building in the F&B space, we still had to decide which category or which cuisine we were going to build under. That's when we did a lot of market research, spoke to 150 to 200 people around, gave them a lot of surveys, questionnaires in order to understand the white space in the market. And that's when we found out that Mumbai street food, even with its rich flavors, did not have a nationwide recall in terms of any brand operating and running in this space. So then we broke down the entire solutions into multiple stages again. We started off by launching a basic landing page, a website, and started taking in corporate large B2B orders. We started A/B testing a lot of our price points, menus, options, as well as different combos, etc., to give to B2B large corporate orders. And then we spoke to HRs to understand what's their willingness to pay, what kind of budgets they operate in. Are they willing to pay a premium if the product and quality is being better than what's available in the market? So we did a lot of testing in the early phases through a virtual cloud kitchen. And once we had more conviction, we had more data points on what really it has to be built under, is when we moved toward the launch of our first store. That's when the entire branding, the name itself, Mumbai Pav Company, came into picture, the logo, the entire brand playbook, and where we need to be launching it, the kind of team behind it, etc., is all what came in all together. And we launched our first store in August, and it was a 2-month journey just to finalize the first store. I met Jash at Mesa, and he was typically one of my first friends I made at Mesa. And right from the first term onwards, we were just talking about food, going around places, trying new cuisines. I used to give him recommendations of places. He used to tell me places I've never heard in Bangalore, even though I was born and brought up here. So our conversations naturally revolved around food. And I really wanted to build in the F&B space, and him coming from a culinary background really knew the product and the operation side of it very deeply and on a very professional level. So even though we run our QSR, he actually brings the fine dine set of operations and the SOPs into place to run it as seamlessly as one could.
For me, the food always meant about the dishes and the ingredients and everything basically based behind the kitchen. But what always fascinated me was what was happening at the front. So where I would always talk about food and new and interesting things that I was finding, he would always talk about how those things can actually become into a business. Like when we talk about fast food, even globally, Indian food is not talked about, although we have such a huge range and variety of it.
So through Mumbai Pav Company, we're actually building India ka fast food. So we also got a small grant of 50,000 rupees from Mesa, which actually made it easier to ship out our MVP and test the markets by setting up flea markets across Bangalore. And again, we got very early feedback in that, and we got conviction into our idea. Post-program, there was a lot of support from Mesa as well in terms of fellowship, accommodation, office space for our employees and us. So that really made the decision making easier. And that's the reason why I decided that if not now, then when? And this was the right time to build a venture.
So Mumbai Pav Company is a lot about celebrating Mumbai in its different ways. And that's what we wanted to reflect through our menu. Whether it's the tawa pulao, which reminds you of your 5 p.m. craving after that long night of parties, or your butter drenched pav, which you love having with your pav bhaji, or just a quick Mumbai style sandwich that you grab and you find it every nook and corner of Mumbai. And so yeah, that's what the menu is all about. So once we were convinced on the product, we realized the only way to figure out if it was good enough was to go to the market. And that's when we set out a target for us of 60 days to open a store, which we were able to achieve. And now it's helping us being close to the customer and being in the shortest feedback loop possible to iterate and build on Mumbai Pav Company to make it big. One biggest learning for me and one question that I often ask myself when faced with any challenge is, what is the problem and who am I solving it for? And that is also something I would advise the future batch of MSL to ask whenever they're approaching a problem. What exactly is it and who are you solving it for? Another thing would be overly optimistic. A lot of people would come and tell you that things are unrealistic. Believe in yourself. So we're really happy with the kind of product feedback that we have been getting from our guests over the last 3 months. And that is actually something that we want to keep building on top of.
The vision is actually to take Mumbai Pav Company on a global scale and expand it across markets like Europe, Middle East, Singapore, etc.
But you want to spend the next few, this in the short term, we want to celebrate the cuisine within India first. And that is why we're focusing on domestic markets. And again, long-term vision is to go global.
So you'll probably see a Mumbai Pav Company in a pin code near you very soon.